First met Jose Diaz when I was in middle school in 8th grade. It's about 13 or 14 years old. And he introduced me to the whole Latin music, and I mean, previous to that I played gospel and played, funk and things like that, but he changed my whole perspective on music. Introduced me to various artists that he brought in, different clinics and clinicians that he brought in, and just changed my playing completely. Just exposed me to a lot of stuff, really. It's a good question. I don't know, I started off playing the alto saxophone and it was okay. And then I tried playing some other instruments, and then when I got to the tenor saxophone, for some reason, it seemed to fit. To me, it was more like the voice, and it covered the range of the voice. I mean, you have people who learn different ways. Everyone doesn't learn the same way. And people just look at it as arts, as just the arts, but music has so many different other things to offer besides just playing the instrument itself. I know being in the program here at DMI and being in MacArthur, we learned discipline and we learned a lot of other stuff, accountability and how to be responsible through playing music. And it was something that we could take ownership of that was our own, So it's cultural, the music's cultural, so it's very important. It's very important. I mean, I think that jazz has influenced everything, so I think the place of jazz will just be everywhere and everything that you're listening to, because there's not a thing that it hasn't been influenced by. So jazz, I believe jazz will be everywhere. There will be elements of jazz everywhere, But then again, I always ask, what is jazz? What are you calling jazz? Since it's continued to evolve over time, it's what is that, What time period would you be referring to when you call it jazz? Man, I listen to a lot of older artists, just learning the tradition. I feel like I can't move forward if I'm not listening to the ones that people who've done it before me. So you're Joe Henderson, Wayne Shorter, just the older cats in the tradition of the art form. Charlie Parker, of course, common names, and just listening to as much stuff as I possibly can. And that's something that I learned from Mr. Diaz as well. I do different types of listening. So I might listen to a record, for instance, a Charlie Parker record, and I'll listen to it for phrasing. Then I might take a Joe Henderson record, for example, and I'll listen to a tune, and I'll take his tune, and I'll be listening for particular types of licks or stuff that I like. So just different things that I like from different players. One player may be phrasing, articulation, certain stuff like that. Other stuff, I transcribe the whole thing, I transcribe the entire solo, or I transcribe piano or whatever on there that I like. Basically whatever I like, pull that stuff off of it, I always felt special just because I had something of my own. The music, it was mine. It's my music, and it's something that I take pride in. And so I just love the practice because I want to get better, learn how to play in the tradition of the greats before me.